And welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina. We are super excited to have you all with us. Look at this full studio that we have today. Tina, how are you doing?
Hey, fabulous. It is Thursday. One more day. I think I woke up this morning thinking it was Friday. I was like, oh, yes, the weekend. And then I went, oh, wait, we still have another day.
We do still
So
have
days
another
are just
day.
rolling in. Look at our fabulous guests today in all their virtual studios. Welcome, welcome. Everybody say hi to our studio audience.
Hello.
Right. We love doing these special editions of the Angel and Tina morning show. You all know us. We are the bright start to your day. If you've got a business, a book, or a brand or something fun that you are launching and exciting, of course, we have our Tickled Pink Media launch campaign. But when you've got something good to announce, we want to start your day off with something really fun and exciting. And today we are featuring speakers and the host from the Systems Summit that is kicking off tomorrow. Stan, hello, how are you today?
I am very good. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. Tell our audience where you're coming in from.
I am coming in from Las Vegas, Nevada, on behalf of the Systems Summit.
Systems Summit. And I know you're hosting that, your co-host, Miss Victoria Boyd, Dr. Victoria Boyd, right? You earned it. I'll use it. Absolutely. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous and so excited that we're actually doing our kickoff party to this evening at 5 o'clock Pacific time. And then we start at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Ooh. All right. Well, we are going to spend a lot of time
early in the morning.
Yeah, that's 8 a.m. Pacific time. So
yeah,
that's
it's good for us. Angel, when you move to the East Coast, it'll be so good for us because we'll be so much later than all the rest.
So yeah, I have I'm in Colorado now. I've lived here for pretty much most of my life. I went to high school here and I've been in this house for over almost 21 years exactly. And 1 week from today, I'm moving out and moving to Florida, to the East Coast. So everybody tells me it'll be really
moving on up.
Keep track of time zones because everybody's behind me, either 1, 2, or 3 hours. So I'm hoping that'll be the case. Well, we are super excited to feature the Systems Summit that's happening tomorrow and Saturday. It's a two-day event. The kickoff party is going on tonight. We'll make sure everybody gets some contact information and everything for that. But before we get into that, I do have a couple of little shout outs, Tina, that I want to recognize.
I know you got a little surprise box back there. What do you have in there?
By surprise, I ordered it. So I mean, it wasn't quite the surprise, but
so last week we had this amazing guest on, right?
We did. We had Brenda Myers from Sterling Tea out of Texas, and they blend their own tea blend, Sterling Tea. And you can check them out at sterlingtea.com. So this is Sterling Tea, and she was talking about all their new seasonal blends. And so I got this box of.
Let me tell you, when she was talking about all her blends, she was like, and this blend has this, and this in it, and this blend. And we were like, and what about this? And what about this? Like we looked up and it was like 11:45. We still hadn't brought up our second guest.
We haven't brought up anything. We were talking about tea the whole time.
Tea. So she has these amazing Christmas blends. So you got what, 3 or 4 of them, didn't you?
Yeah, it got Rudolph's Remedy, which is black tea, orange cinnamon chips, orange peel, clove, ginger, like yummy.
Oh my gosh, this sounds so good.
Miss Frosty. Today I'm drinking the Southwest Sunrise, which is a spicy morning blend of black tea and zesty orange. I was chatting with Brenda this morning. I told her my box came and that we'd shout out to her. But she gave a really fabulous little special last week, a discount, like 20% discount. When we ordered from Sterling Tea. But then I'm also drinking out of my She Network mug. I was a speaker on the She Network, and she sent me this personalized mug using Banner Season. With Banner Season, you can send gifts and postcards and all this good stuff in the mail. I will never have to buy another coffee mug again because I keep getting coffee mugs in the mail.
But because our whole circle have all these mugs. I got this mug from somebody, I still don't know who it is that sent me this Hocus Pocus mug because it's my favorite movie.
Because it's your favorite?
Yeah, and they just sent me these little off-the-wall things. And you're right, we don't have to ever.
It's personalized.
So what does it say? Angel, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your excellence with love from Taylor and the ladies of the She Network. So I'm just super excited. So I just wanted to say, you know, to all of you who are guests, who have been guests, you all know this isn't a one-time deal. Like you just come on and you're like flash in the pan. We're really a community here. We've got the Angel and Tina Morning Show Facebook page where we connect and collaborate. We connect and collaborate on other stages, other opportunities. Like we are building a community, and I just want to say thank you. So.
What we do
So you all are here on our 149th episode of the Angel
150
of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. So there's a big chance you will be invited back to a milestone show for our 100th episode. We had invited all of our previous guests back. We gave out awards. It was super fun. And so just so you know, we've wrestled you in like this is you may be invited.
So we'll have the second ANT award show here pretty soon. Maybe for our 200th episode.
Maybe, yeah. I think that would be a good one. That would be a good one to have. Okay, so Victoria, let's talk about the summit, and let's talk about some of the fabulous people that you have invited to join us here today.
Absolutely, and thank you for having all of us on today. I am the founder of the Philanthropreneur Foundation, which is a nonprofit. For nonprofits, we help small entities. But as we were moving through, we found that we're also helping a lot of entrepreneurs, those micro businesses. The pandemic brought a lot of things right up in our face of how we needed to reach who we reach and help. But it had been on the back burners for over a year. We were looking at doing virtual conferences way before the pandemic hit. Pandemic pushed us over the cliff, and so therefore I'm great for coming up with these ideas. And System Summit really was born out of our goals to expand and meet the needs of micro businesses. And so that's why it's called Systems Summits with S's, because it's going to be an ongoing event. Every quarter we will be presenting System Summit. It will have slightly different themes. Tomorrow's theme is time. You don't have enough of it, so you think, but we're going to change that. But are you giving
us some more time? That is like one of those dirty little secrets. Like, how does that person get so much done in a day? And all I did was these two things, right?
Right. You know, and it's all a mindset. And in fact, I won't go much into that because that's Jim's specialty right there. But we have 17 speakers, 17 speakers. There's going to be 35 different slots of presentations. Some are 2 parts, some are just 1-ups, but it covers a wide range of systems and processes: project management, human resources, accounting and finance, marketing and sales, and business development. We've sort of covered that, but it's all sort of in relationship to your time. How are you looking at your time? And we're providing strategies, tips, and insight on how to manage your time. So we're really excited. Tonight is the kickoff party. You see, it must be the B12. I'm drinking Zip Fizz here, so but trying to keep the energy going. But kickoff party is 5 to 6 tonight, where we will actually go through the whole schedule, give some tips on how to really access and make it the best ROI you can have. You know, like go get a notebook now, and so you're ready to take notes. Little things like that. Plus, I'll be giving away some prizes. So can't wait until tonight.
I love it. I love it. Well, I know that right now it's a completely different world. I was just telling Tina and the thing, my lights are so bright today. I am like feeling like I'm looking at the sun. So I don't know what changed overnight, but something happened. But I am so bright. I am blinded by the light. So all right. So Stan, how did you and Victoria come together to bring this fabulous event together?
Well, Victoria, it's her brainchild. She reached out to me, and I believe she sent me an email or something that said, I've scheduled a meeting with you, and I assume that you'll be interested in talking with me and working with me in this new project that I have. And I said, I read what it was that she was doing, and I said, good assumption. Okay, yeah, let's talk. And because she and I've worked a bit here in Las Vegas on a number of projects,
That was
and
a little NLP stuff going on there, Stan.
oh, absolutely, right. The power of suggestion, right? So it was, we know each other well enough that we know where each other's strengths are and whether or not this would make a good team. And so it just came together that worked out really well for both of us.
Love it. And so what are you going to be speaking about?
I am actually going to be talking about, you mentioned when Melanie was coming on about automations. You can say she'll have it automated. That's kind of my thing too. Automate as much as I can automate, right? And so my topic is really going to be what I call a simple follow-up process. Because if we think about what happens with a lot of these networking meetings and even from just a general sales standpoint, there's a stat out there that says like 45% of salespeople never follow up. And we've all experienced that when we've reached out to somebody and said, hey, I'm interested, and we never hear from them, right? And so from a lot of these networking meetings and these local meetings, these local events that we go to, one of the biggest things that I see is I might have 20 or 30 people in a meeting, and maybe I hear from one or two of them. And I said, wow, this is one of those things that a lot of local businesses, especially, they need some help with this follow-up process. So I have a semi-automated follow-up process that helps them. It simplifies it for them, but it also helps to automate it so they can send personalized messages to people that actually get open. So I'm going to be talking about that.
Oh, fabulous.
He's
All right.
talking my language.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I think, we do tend to take on some of these as our business grows. We recognize we need all of these other systems, right? Systems work, people fail. You've probably heard that phrase. And there's some real truth. There's some real truth to that. I have called Melanie and, freaking out that I'm worried my customers are going to fall through the cracks. These leads are going to fall through the cracks. I'm going to miss somebody. And that's where the systems come in. Because we're doing so many things. So with that, let's introduce Miss Melanie McSally. We call her, if you guys don't know this, we call her the Fixer. Like, we gave her a nickname of the Fixer because, right, when it's not working, my opt-in's not working, my this isn't, and we're like, Melanie, can you fix it? And then Melanie pops in. Melanie, how are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you, Angel
Good.
and Tina, Stan, Victoria, everyone?
Good. How about you?
I'm great. I'm great.
Okay, so what are you going to be speaking on? I know you, we all know you speak on automation and, all that fun stuff, but is there something in particular you're going to be presenting at the Systems Summit tomorrow?
Yeah, so I'm specifically going to talk about automating your success. And what that means is getting back your time, not being afraid of technology, and knowing that technology can actually be the cost can be proportional to where you are in business. So if you're one of these new micro businesses, you don't have to spend a fortune on technology, but you can still put the right technology in place so that it grows and scales with you. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about how to always be ready for when you get the Oprah effect and millions of people want to work with you, that your business can handle that. So that's what I'm going to talk about.
Fabulous. This is shaping up to be, I love this kind of stuff. Like, when there's a magazine and it's got, here's checklists and here's things that you need to do. Like this is like right up my alley. I'm like, check, like let's get stuff done and let's get stuff off of our plate. Jim, you're over there nodding. You're like, yep, that's me. And I know you're also a productivity expert coming on to the Systems Summit. Did you know the crew before this weekend?
Yes, Dr. Boyd and I share an office here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so we worked together on several things in the past. Stan and I have known each other here, and I recognize some of the other names, not only on the show today, but also on the slate for the Systems Summits this weekend. So I'm familiar with a lot of the people here and excited to be working with them.
Is how do people sign up? Like, what's the process? What's the next step? I'm
It's
sure
real simple. Systems Summits with S.com, and it will take you right to the landing page or registration page. And it systemssummits.com. And you can find everything there. There's a schedule tag, there's a meet the speakers tag, all of it's there. And we do have a special for this show. We have what is called a fast track coupon that's good for anyone who's watching today. It expires tonight at midnight, but a fast track coupon for 50% off if they upgrade to the All Access Pass or the Summit Club. So that's like a special
They have to put
surprise.
do they put in a certain code?
Yeah, systemssummit.com/fast track. I mean,
Okay.
fast action.
Fast
Fast.
action or fast track?
It's action.
Fast
It's
action.
it's action. Fast. Do that fast. Get it.
Okay, take fast action. I love it when our guests give special promo codes, right? Especially to our audience. Like it pays to be in the audience for the Angel
Right?
and Tina Morning
Because
Show. You
Shirley
get fun
Dean,
gifts.
When she was on here, she did a 20% off, and she said she was going to throw in a special gift to everybody if you put in the code Angel and Tina, and she did. She gave you
An infuser. And this is a really good one too. So she just threw that in. I got 20% off. I got free shipping, and I got the infuser thrown in too. So yeah, I got a whole box. Tina says it's my surprise box. I mean, well, kind of. Oh, and she also threw in some extra teas too. I think she threw in,
like a detox tea or
yeah,
gimmick tea, right?
yeah, she did this ginger snap, which was comforting to the tummy and soothing to the throat. And then there was one other that was like a wellness one. Where did I? Well, there was like two more. She threw in. Oh, it was this. Oh, it was the Christmas one. A perfect Christmas. She threw in that one too, which has cinnamon chips, pear pieces, apple, ginger, cloves, and it's an organic green tea. So she threw in all sorts of goodies and stuff. So I love it that if you go to systemsummits.com/fast action, you get 50% off the upgraded package. Yes?
Yep. That's right.
Fabulous. All right. Well,
And since we're talking about special gifts, I actually don't have anything I can send you, unfortunately. I just have a box to send you, but I am going, and we talked a little bit earlier about time and how important it is to have a checklist. That's why I was nodding my head when you were talking about the need for a checklist. I will be opening both days and talking only about time management. My expertise is in productivity, and I focus on goal setting, decision making, and time management. But this weekend, I'm only going to be talking about time management. And I have not only some really cool checklists for anyone who comes on, but I have a nice offer at the end. So I'm starting out both days. So you got to get there early, and you got to join us first thing.
I love
Which
it.
for our East people is easy because it's 8 a.m. for us. It's 11 for you guys.
Yeah. 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Mountain, 10 Central, 11 Eastern.
You
Which is
got it. Okay,
yeah.
so the big question, Angel, what time in Australia time?
Oh goodness, girl. Yeah, they teased me because I was trying to put together a call that included me in Denver, my client in Buenos Aires, and her client in Australia. And I missed it because I could not.
After she was like, okay, it's my time, it's your time. Okay, I got it.
Got
Okay,
it.
I got it this time. Okay, I got it. And then she still
I still didn't get it. I'm like, I was so wrong. But I know I'm not the only one. We've had a lot of people on here. And so my husband, for a long time, he started saying, I'm just going to move you to one of the coasts. Like, so
Yeah.
either ahead of you or behind you. And be careful what you wish for, because next week we're moving to Florida. So
You just made me feel a lot better about myself on that whole time thing, because it just messes me up all the time.
I've either lived on the Pacific coast or the East Coast. So it's the mountain and central that get me. I'm like, which one is first? This one or this one? And then I'll
I
forget,
know.
like, what state is like, what state is the line through? And then I'm like, wait, where are you?
Yeah, we are smart people, Jim, but somehow this time zone thing like really messes with us. So
It's like
Does your
3 out of our 5 guests every week they say they're loving the Zoom, they're loving the virtual. It's the time zones
It's
that
the
get
time
to
zone
me, and
thing.
we're all like, oh wow, we're not the only ones.
Come on, Tina, you
I
know
am
the world
working on. Oh, go ahead, Melanie. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, you know the world revolves around the East Coast, so everything starts from the East Coast.
That's what I said, Melanie, the other day, and somebody said, no, the world revolves around the Pacific Coast.
No,
And I was like,
East.
I didn't know that. Because I've always heard the East.
Worst part of all this are the states who don't have daylight savings time and then try to remember what time of the year it is. And is Arizona the same time as Nevada right now, or are they on a different time?
Well, speaking of Arizona, we have somebody here from Arizona that we always have to make sure, okay, what are you guys in daylight savings? You're not? Arizona has their own complete time zone. Carrie Conley.
Hello. Well, the reason I'm late to the party is because of what we're talking about. For some reason, so Arizona doesn't move ever. So half the year I'm on the same time as California.
Okay.
And then half the year I'm on the same time as Denver, which is where I'm from. So yeah, I got up this morning thinking, okay, cool, 9 a.m. I got this. And then all of a sudden I go, oh, wow, wait a minute. That's 9 a.m. Denver
But you
time.
know why you got caught up, right, Carrie? Because now, just in a week, you have to change again. It changes.
Yes,
again.
and I'm aware, and I've already scheduled appointments a week out, and I've had to think about that, right? So yeah, I get a little off. We just need to stop the daylight savings
You
time.
get caught
Stop.
up, and then
Yeah.
right before it changes again, you have to change it again.
Everybody just needs to get on board with Arizona and stop the daylight savings.
I
Carrie,
concur
know
with that.
you're the keynote speaker for the summit. Super excited to have you
So
here.
honored to be that. Thank you, Stan and Victoria. I'm so excited.
What are you going to be sharing?
Well, all things vision, of course, because that's what I'm known for. So we're going to be talking about, first and foremost, before you do anything, why you have to have a super clear vision for what you're doing in your business. Because without that first, you can't create a very rock solid, quantitative, metrics-based business plan for the year that you can break down into quarters. So that's where the systems come in, right? Is creating a system that lines up with the plan. Not the other way around, which is what most entrepreneurs try and do. So yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about how to simplify, how to put boundaries around your business, your time, your money, and who you spend it with.
Boundaries around your business?
Yes. It's called living and working intentionally because
Yeah, I think we all need a little bit of that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a common malady amongst entrepreneurs that they tend to have no boundaries whatsoever. Super busy. They can show you a really packed calendar and all sorts of cool stuff they're doing. But at the end of the day, not really seeing the results, specifically money in the bank. So we're going to talk a lot about how we need to have a vision clearly first, especially this time of year. I've been really talking a lot about this on social media and most especially with all my clients the past couple of weeks, that January 1 is today. We start the new year now. It's not when everybody else does and waits until the calendar January 1st to say, okay, it's the beginning of the year. Because how we end this year is how we start next year. And a lot of people, probably 98%, have already given up on their goals for the year. They're just going to think that magically New Year's Day, they'll wake up and, oh, it's game on. And it doesn't work that way. You drop the ball for a couple months. It's going to take you a couple of months to get the ball rolling again. So I've always really pushed hard at the end of the year because I know that how I end with momentum this year is how next year is going to start. So I've been challenging everybody to really, this time of year, think about your vision, get your year plan going already, and get some simplification and some boundaries and some systems in place.
Yeah, I think I'm really loving the timing of this event because we are, like Carrie says, a lot of times small business owners tend to kind of pull back, right? It's the end of the year. I didn't hit my goals, right? The holidays are coming. I'll pick it back up. But truly, how we end this year, what we put in place. Victoria, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm a former teacher, so I tend to raise my hand.
I love that. No, I love that. That helps me.
Well, being rooted in the nonprofit sector, we put a lot of time and energy in the fourth quarter because we're always looking at fundraising before the end of the year. And so it's a natural fit to have this summit start, in this fourth quarter. Plus, I'm like, get it done. We got to do this. But I have always given our conferences in late October. It has just fit the model that we do. It puts people, or it keeps them focused during the holiday season. And that's when many people really check off, sign off or whatever, and so it helps them to stay at least a little bit focused. I'm not saying give up the holidays and don't, do your thing, but you still have to pay attention to how you're closing out the year. And coming from the nonprofit sector where it was like the most important part of the year, I'm just sort of trickling over in the domino effect of that same mindset that I've had for many, many years. And since I'm talking about nonprofits, I'd really like to throw this over to Linda Lizakowski, who actually is the author of over 30 books. I needed to say that. But she's going to be at the summit. She's always one of my first supporters, jumps on board. Linda, tell us what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I was just thinking as I was listening to everybody else that my slant is a little bit different because it is based on the nonprofit sector. But I have to qualify with that to say that I came from the business sector. I spent 11 years in banking and one day realized that I had more files in my file drawer for my volunteer activities in the nonprofit world than I had for my banking job. And I said, maybe it's time to make a career change. So what I'm talking about at the summit, and it does tie in nicely with what you said, Victoria, and others about the end of the year, because in the nonprofit world, I have found it was a culture shock for me to enter the nonprofit world, as it is for most people coming from the business sector. But I found that a lot of times during the summer and during the month of December, that the nonprofit world sort of goes into hibernation. And I thought, this is a time you should be planning for what's happening in the next fiscal year. So my talk is about raising money from your business community, because I came from that world. And you hear a lot of people saying, well, nonprofits are just like a business, and they are in some ways, but they are different. But they do have to start to think like business people. And what I find as far as putting systems in place for the way you approach businesses is it's not just somebody coming to your board meeting and saying, hey, we ought to be raising money from businesses. So let's go after the big banks, or in our community, let's go after the big casinos and see how much money we can raise. It's doing a whole thoughtful process and putting a system in place to identify businesses that might support your nonprofit, to cultivate those business leaders, and to involve the business leaders in raising money from each other and doing peer-to-peer fundraising. So that's basically what my topic is about. And I'm really excited about this summit, and I'm listening to all the talk about systems, and I've put a lot of systems into place for myself, and it's sometimes drives me crazy because I'm not a techie person. I'm a people person. I'd rather just go out and do it, but I know I can't. So I'm really intrigued to hear all the people who have a lot to say about systems, because I believe that's important for nonprofits and for business people.
Yeah, it is a game changer, because we're, especially for us people pleasers and people, right? That we tend to wear too many hats, right? And take on all these
times,
right? These passion projects and so having all that, but truly, Linda, and for business, we have a lot of clients who, when they tie themselves to a nonprofit and what they're doing to give back to these nonprofits, it makes it, we rise up together, and as a small business to be able to give back and to align with we're the backbone of the American economy and in that space. And so Jim's raising his hand, Victoria's raising his hand. I'll go with Jim first.
Thank you. I will actually speak for Dr. Boyd. We've actually worked together on a previous project called the Cause Marketing Summit on how to use your partnerships with nonprofit organizations to build your business and to do it consciously, not just give some money to a nonprofit, but to actually create a real partnership. So Dr. Boyd is really, really big on that. Hope I didn't steal what you were gonna say, but but the reason I raised my hand is everyone's talking about systems. And what I've realized is I don't use the word systems with my clients anymore because it's a word that's scary. In fact, I use the word recipe. Because I say, you wouldn't think about cooking a complicated meal without a recipe, right? You need a recipe. And it's a pretty simple thing to look at and go through this process. But when you start talking about systems, people go, oh, so much technology, so difficult. But a recipe is easy, right? You get your ingredients, you put it all in this order, and you have what you want at the end. So that's one of the tricks that I use with people is looking at it a little different than the standard terminology. And with time management, that's a big deal, is seeing time different than the way you normally do.
Well, we have one more person that we need to hear from, Miss Kenya Scott.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Yes, so I had not been familiar with anyone on the panel prior to me joining the Systems Summits. I was actually referred by one of my colleagues, and I said, sure. So I am a digital marketing strategist and social media manager. And so my presentation is don't piece together your social media strategy with duct tape. Duct tape is not a system. So as it relates to times, and I bet everybody can relate to that because most people, that's literally what they're doing. They're piecing it together. And so what I am taking people through is actually a system for putting together your social media strategy. Most people start with content. And so in my presentation, I say, well, I know this is the sexy part of starting, so let's start with content, but that's not really where you start. So I go through how you figure out what content to share. I go through goals, metrics, why you're here in the first place. And that really is pivotal to not only saving time, but creating a system that works, that you can replicate, that you can outsource, or that you can hand off, and that you can keep rolling. And particularly in the fourth quarter, as many people have mentioned, a lot of people, they have not hit their sales goals, and they kind of, in my world, instead of shrinking back, they go hard and they throw a bunch of money at ads, thinking that that is a solution. That's the exact opposite thing to do in the fourth quarter, because not only are ads the most expensive in the fourth quarter, but if you have not taken the time to understand the ad system, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or even Google, you're literally throwing money down a rabbit hole. And so as you watch my presentation, you will realize, stop throwing money down the rabbit hole with your ads for Black Friday, and instead craft the right content, put together the right metrics. And it's not as hard as it sounds once you have a system. And so that's what I'll be speaking on.
I love it. And speaking of systems, we have a person that we delegate a lot of our stuff to. So we're going to have to go to our commercial break to hear that person.
Well, we want to say thank you so much for all of you being here today, promoting the Systems Summits that are coming up, systemssummits.com. We've got our organizers, we've got our speakers, we've got the keynote here today, and we're just super excited to be featuring you on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. But we also want to say thank you and spotlight our sponsors of the Angel and Tina Morning Show, the Zondra TV Network. We are globally streamed on all those on-demand streaming channels, 7 different streaming channels. So where you get your favorite programs, your favorite shows, you can also find the Zondra TV Network there. which is where you can find the Angel and Tina Morning Show, is globally streamed and globally syndicated. If you've got content, you're doing a podcast, you're doing a program, you're doing something that you want to put out a regular TV show, you could contact them at beonztv.com. That's beonztv.com. Just have a discovery call about maybe starting your own TV show on the ZTV network. Bliss by the Lake Boutique is our clothing sponsor. Yes, we have a clothing sponsor. It's time to switch over to that fall wardrobe. Check them out online. They ship all over the globe. And then when we talk about systems, I always say, automate, delegate. Oh, what was our new word, Melanie? Populate. Automate, delegate, and populate. Well, if you're feeling like there's too much on your to-do list, it's time to outsource some of that. You could hire your own virtual assistant or a team of VAs when you go to sonicva.com. That's sonicva.com. You get a 10% discount when you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show. Yep. We're going to save you 10% off your first 40 hours of virtual assistant service. When you mention us, go to sonicva.com, sonicva.com. Those are our sponsors that we are so grateful for. Yes, Victoria.
I love our sponsors.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, because I haven't said what I'll be speaking on, because I am one of the presenters. Go figure. And when you mentioned VAs, one of my presentations is to VA or not to VA. Is it time, or should you hire a VA? And then I go through the whole process of how do you go through that? What do you need to put in place? The checklist, and also onboarding, and then how to work with them. At the end, and then my other, because I'm doing two. Yeah, it's my summit. I can do two. I'm the author of Webinar Secrets, How to Create Training and Webinars That Educate, Engage, and Energize. And so I'll be talking about how to put together a value-driven webinar. Webinars have become such a marketing tool that the educational component of them sort of went out the door. I'm from education, so I'm taking it back into its space. Seminar is where webinars came from, and seminars means to educate. It's from higher education. So yeah, I'm getting real technical. I'm getting back into my warm place, which is training. And so webinar secrets, how to set those up, and then how to VA or not to VA. That's my 2 cents.
Victoria, let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
They can actually book a chat with me at drvictoriaboyd.com/book me.
Okay.
It's real simple. Just
Book me.
book me.
And then Mr. Stan, how can people get a hold of you? Oh, you're muted, darling.
You muted.
Go figure. StanInShields.com. And you know what? And I'll put that in my name right here so that it'll just show up on the screen.
And then what about you, Miss Carrie Conley?
Same thing, just my website, carrieconley.com.
It's so easy today. Usually people, it takes them 4 or 5 minutes.
Gotta be
Melanie,
simple.
right? Melanie, what about you, babe?
You can text automate to 351-444-WISE, WYZE, which is 9993.
And Miss Kenya?
They can reach me at, you can always find me on Twitter at Miss Kenya, or you can visit my website at marketingsparkler.com. I'm super easy to find.
And what about you, Miss Linda?
The hardest thing for me is spelling Lysakowski, I guess. But you can find me at lindalysakowskicourses.com. And on that site, you'll see the books that I've written, the 14 online courses that I offer for nonprofits. And also you can book me, you can book an hour of my consulting time there too. So all that is lindalysakowskicourses.com.
Wow. So Miss Linda, you're getting a lot of accolades here on social media about your 30 books and your 14 courses that you have created.
Well, and I'm writing about 4 books right now too. So
you're about to launch 4 books?
I'm in the
Has
process
anybody
of
else
writing
had more than 30 books or 34 books?
30 some.
No. Mm-mm.
Only got 4.
Like, usually it's Angel who's like, I have 11, and we're like, Angel, she's got you beat.
It's okay. It's okay. I bow down to the master, right?
No, I'm a lot older. That's why I have had more time to write.
Angel, you got about 25 years, darling. You got about 16 more books to write. Oh, what about you, Jim? How can people get a hold of you?
So I have about a 10-minute process to explain how people can get a hold of me.
Okay, good.
So I'm gonna take all the time that everybody else didn't use, right? No, I'm just joking. It's really very simple. The easiest way to reach me actually is on LinkedIn. You can find me as Jim Root. It's really simple. You can also email me, jim@jimrootspeaks.com. But surprisingly, the thing that I always encourage people to do is to actually call me. I still answer my phone. I'm not just in the digital world. I love it when my phone rings. And I give out my phone number to everybody. It's here in Las Vegas, area code 702-518-2525. Call me. I'm happy
You
to talk
answer
about.
the phone to everybody?
Yeah, I answer the phone.
I would be on Melanie, me and
You know
we
what's
should be on
funny?
the phone all day.
You would think that, but I am a productivity expert, and I tell people I am more than happy to have a short conversation with you about how I can help you improve your productivity. And my phone does not ring off the hook. It's crazy. I get a lot of
Would you ever
emails. I guess people like to complain about not getting things done more than actually doing something about
I see.
it.
Nailed it on the nose. Nailed it on the nose. All right. Well, these are, I don't know if these are all the speakers, but these are many of the speakers on the upcoming Success Summits. Kicks off tomorrow. So give us the details one more time about kind of the agenda that's happening.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, we kick off tonight, actually, at 5 o'clock celebration kickoff party. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Jim Root, as he mentioned, is opening up with the first presentation. Stan and I will be there to do a live welcome. And then throughout the day, every 30 minutes, a new presentation will pop up or is there with a new speaker. During each presentation, there is what is called a chat box that they can go into on their presentation page. They can enter questions, but we will also be streaming live all day long through a live portal on Zoom. Now, if you want to access that, you have to be registered. We do have free registration, but it's only good for the 48 hours that we're live. And then every day, starting at 8, at 1 o'clock, are 2 keynote speakers each day. The first day is Kellen Cosman. He is founder of Send It Rising, and he's going to be talking about pandemic marketing. And then wonderful Carrie Conley on Saturday. At 5 o'clock each day, we're doing our networking lounge, where we hope all the speakers, attendees will just come and hang out. We'll be talking over each other, but that's where we'll also be talking about different things coming up. I'm glad we talked about passion and purpose, because our January summit is passion and profits. So yeah, 2 jam-packed days, but if people can't attend both days, they can always get an all access pass. I gave you that fast action coupon. So systemssummits.com is where you will find everything.
Hey, Angel Tussey, you cannot get out of this. You are also one of the speakers, and we need to know what you're speaking about.
Oh, me.
I wonder what she's going to be speaking about.
Well, you know what? It was so much fun to reconnect with Stan. Stan and I go way back here in Colorado. We had both joined our local Chamber of Commerce, I think, right around the same time. And so, so we have a lot of business history together, and it was just really fun to reconnect during this pandemic. I think that there's really been a social or a silver lining in all of this social distancing, in how we have been able to be creative and how we've stayed connected and access, been, you know, writing new books, creating new courses. This show came out of the pandemic as a resource to our audience, and it has just really taken off. So Stan, I want to say thank you for connecting and reaching out and reconnecting with me. But, you know, I think one of my systems is getting business owners to stop building their business one-to-one. No more onesies. We build it one-to-many. Relationships are built one-to-one. But if you're going to create $1 million business, right? The comma club, right? That Boy George is singing about, comma a million, right? You got to automate, delegate, and populate. And so I teach you the power of other people, using the power of other people's audiences to attract more leads, elevate your brand, and create more publicity. So I'm going to be teaching you how to build your business using, you know, getting booked on over 100 stages a year and on front of thousands of media desks. And it's a game changer. I'm super excited to be included. Okay.
So
All right.
with the last 15 minutes, let's kind of go around and get like one more little piece. What would you like to leave our audience with? Carrie, let's start with you. What would be something that you would want to leave our audience with?
Well, it's kind of off topic, but it's something that I've been talking a lot about lately. And that is that most times what I see people do is they give up on their dreams and their vision, because they get to a point in life where they just think, you know what, I'm good. I don't really need to do that thing anyway. I'm comfortable. It's too late. I'm too old, you know, all the stuff, right? But here's the thing, is that we have a world right now of some young adults that really need to see us persevering now more than ever. Because if we quit, they quit. So for those of you who are thinking, it's good, I'm done, it's all right, it's not all right. Because those young adults, whether you have one in your life or your kiddos or whoever, you're affecting the next generation more than you know. And they need to see us persevere, because they're looking at us. And, you know, I've raised my kids being an entrepreneur. And the biggest reason I didn't quit on my business is because I knew that they were watching me. So I just really want to encourage people to not give up, because it's not about you. It's about the next generation.
I love that, Carrie. Just yesterday, my oldest son reached out to me and he's like, Mom, I just wanted to let you know that I'm so proud of everything that you had to overcome in the last 2 years, and watching you now just doing all the stuff you're doing. He doesn't see everything, but he sees some things on social media, you know, these little things. And you are right. They are watching you. And, you know, like, oh, my mom was able to get through all of that, you know, and she was able to persevere.
Yes.
So I like that.
That's awesome.
What about you, Melanie?
So, you know, Angel knows so much about me because our products go so well together, right? You need the exposure, and then you need to capture that exposure. And so, you know, like Carrie just said, it's not about you, but you have this genius that somebody in the world needs. So you need the exposure to get to that person, and then you really need to make it easy for them to get to you. And so, so I just say, like, you know, it's never too early to start preparing for that success, because something's going to happen in your world, and, you know, people are just going to come to you wanting that genius, wanting to absorb it, and you need to be ready to work with them. So ready to accept success. So, you know, just don't think, oh, I'll do that, you know, in 3 years when I have the money or when I have the time. Like, there are certain things that you need to put in place at the beginning. Vision is one of them, and then your foundation is another.
I love that. What about you, Mr. Jim?
So I'm going to, if you don't mind, take a slightly different direction here. I'm going to share something personally. Over the last couple of years, I have lost 4 family members. My older brother passed away from cancer. My mother passed away shortly after that. She had a stroke and then had some heart issues. Then her mother passed away, and then my father passed away. So all of this happened in very short order, and it really brought our family together, and we had some really great conversations. And then my younger brother died of cancer as well. So this all happened in the course of about 3 years. And so it really brought home, when I was with all of the rest of my family, how sad and really devastated everyone else was. We have a pretty big family, but everyone was devastated. And I realized I wasn't. And it's painful and it really hurt. And this, taking it back to time and to the summit, I realized that I live a life both as if I want to live forever, preparing for the future, having everything I want. But today, I act as if there is no tomorrow. If I feel like calling my brother and saying how things are going, I did. I never leave anything undone. Anything that pops up that needs, that I feel is important, I do it right now. So when I lost my family members, I didn't feel regret because I had given them the best of me at all times. And so I encourage everyone, not just business owners, and looking at the system summits, this is a great way to think about this. I'm encouraging everyone to live your complete life today. Don't live your life in tomorrow, because we're not guaranteed to have tomorrow. We don't know that we will be here or that the people important to us will be here. So live your best life today. And so that's one of the things where time management comes in. In order to do everything you want to do, give that your complete attention to the people that are important to you. You really need to manage your time and make sure that you're doing the thing that is the most important to you. So that's my final word to people.
What about you, Miss Scott?
So I would leave people with a thought. Oftentimes people, micro business owners, they are so focused on making the next sale that they kind of forget business isn't about, particularly when it's one-on-one, business isn't about, telling people just to buy your stuff. So I would advise people to think about the value that you offer, whatever your business is, whatever your industry is, and don't focus so much on pushing your product down people's throats when it comes to your marketing messaging, but actually think about the value you provide. Somebody out there needs the products and services that you offer. And so I always try to come from a place of value. I know I over deliver because I want to provide value and actionable content and guidance. So whatever your business is, whatever your business model is, take a step back and think about the value that you offer and how can your audience benefit from the products and services. That is the core of what you do. And so if you come from that place, your marketing naturally follows.
Miss Linda, final words?
Okay, well, I have, first of all, a final word for those attending the summit that are going to be nonprofits. I'm going to teach you how to get rid of the Willie Sutton theory of business fundraising. So that you'll learn more about that in the summit. But I wanted to go back partly to what Jim said, and also something you mentioned, Tina, about the fact that I've written over 30 books and I'm still writing. I think I have about 4 in progress right now. But to me, this was my way of leaving a legacy, not only for my profession, but some of my books are outside the realm of the nonprofit profession. They're more spiritual books. And to me, this was leaving a legacy. And I can't tell you how thrilling it is when somebody says to you, I read your book 10 years ago and it changed my life, or it changed the way I think about the way I'm doing business. And I would encourage anybody here who's thinking about writing a book to really get serious about it, because it's a way to leave a legacy. I know some of you already have written books, but I also do some book coaching on the side, helping people get their books published. I just recently helped a friend of mine publish a book of poetry, which is totally outside of my realm, but it was an interesting experience. And so I encourage you all to think about how you're going to leave your legacy. And I think teaching and writing for me were the answer. And I think it might be for you too.
I like that. And then what about you, Mr. Stan?
You know, when we think about systems, you know, Angel mentioned we've known each other for a really long time, probably over 15 years. We met, I was running my martial arts business in Denver. And that I bought that martial arts business in 2002 with 40 students and about $8,000 a month. Through implementing solid business systems, we grew it to 250 members and about 40,000 a month. And so the business systems to me are the key. And I think it might've been on the call with Linda and Marilyn that somebody asked, what do you mean by systems? Systems are everything from how you answer the phone to how you open the doors, every process that happens in your business is what we're talking about in systems. And so the Systems Summit isn't just about computer systems, it's about how you operate your business and what are the steps that are needed that then can be transferred to employees. People used to laugh at me because I wouldn't let just anybody answer the phone. I said, no, I have people that will answer it or I'll answer it because people can answer the phone incorrectly and mess it up for you. So systems are really all encompassing.
I like that. And then last but not least, Miss Victoria.
Like I mentioned before, I'm from the educational background. And so as I was putting together the summit, yes, I knew there were topics that wanted to be covered, but I approached it, and especially when recruiting speakers and how I wanted the platform to come across for the attendees, I definitely wanted to present value. Coming right off of writing that Webinar Secrets book, it is grounded in adult learning, multiple intelligences, e-learning theories, all of that. And that's really my bailiwick. That's where I sort of live and fester. But even as I put together the outline for the speakers, I told them, this is not a speak to sell platform. This is an education platform. And I want the majority of your content to be educationally driven. I'll give you a chance to promote whatever, but these attendees need to walk away with actionable items that they can do right then. And so that's why I'm encouraging even the attendees, go out and get an empty book. You can go to a dollar store and stack up and start your Systems Summit notebook, so that you can start taking notes, you can start collecting this. We have an actual resource toolkit on Systems Summit. And so we're looking at long-term growth in terms of helping anyone who wants to attend, nonprofits, micro, small business, I think anyone will gain because we're educationally driven. Some people, I've been asked many times, well, when do you retire? Me and Linda are in the same generation there. We're neck and neck. You know, I've been out of education. I taught for 32 years and have been out of that for 15. So you can start adding up on your fingers, you know, where I am. But I haven't even thought about slowing down. Some people are telling me, well, you're going to do what? Oh, isn't that exciting? You know, that's not in my wheelhouse yet. You can ask Jim. You know, I have a whole brick and mortar training center for the Philanthropreneur Foundation. I sit in my office, well, can we do this? We can, you know. So it's looking at how you give back to the community. And I've asked my speakers, give back to the sector and make this truly an educational experience. I think anyone who comes, attends, and watches any of the presentations will walk away with something of value. And that's my goal.
Love it. I love it. Well, you guys have all been just darling dynamite. I can't wait to hang out with you all weekend long. And Linda's right. When you publish a book, not only do you leave a legacy, but you can also create $1 million business monetizing your intellectual property, right? When we talk about 2 interviews a week and 1 press release a month, imagine if each interview you had a call to action and led people to go and opt in to buy your book. So 25 copies, 2 times a week, 4 times a month. That's an extra $5,000 in passive revenue into your funnel without inventory, without any upfront cost. Amazon handles all the distribution, all the fulfillment. They give you a free website, all for your book. And once you trigger the machine, just imagine it's only 100 sales a day and you have $1 million business monetizing your intellectual property. So we're sitting on a gold mine, and I can't wait to hang out with you at the Systems Summits this weekend. I'm Angel Tussey. I am your media matchmaker. Jim Rohn says you don't have to be great to start. You've just got to start to be great. So get started with your complimentary media starter kit when you go to my website, makeyourbigimpact.com. That's Make Your Big Impact. Let's get started and sharing the world's greatest story, yours.
I love it. I love it. Speaking of books, I have a new book coming out, Beyond Gratitude, Strategies to Attract, Retain, and Build Relationships with Your Clients. I went live yesterday to have some of you guys help me pick out my book cover. I am Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the Gratitude Specialist. And if you're struggling with building your audience, finding the right clients, or even retaining those clients that you already have, I have a complimentary guide that'll help you grow your audience organically, online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. And you can grab your free guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. And we are so grateful to you, our audience, our guest here today, for being our loyal fans. We hope we brought a bright start to your day, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Everyone.